Hey traders, Raghee here, and in tonight's recap video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different because we are in the countdown to, basically the next 10 days, not even, we're going to see not one, but two Bitcoin futures contracts hit the market. And I am very excited because, a lot of what I am interested in with Bitcoin is the ability to be able to intraday trade Bitcoin on those days that we get a tremendous amount of volatility. Now you'll see I've got Ethereum on the right side. And one of the things that I'm super excited about as well is, look, I think we're starting to see enough attention in these major, what we call the blue chips of digital currency, of crypto. Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, Ripple are joining Bitcoin as far as these major currencies that, again, have a more of a blue chip quality than some of the sort of penny stock that populate the remainder of the 1,300 plus digital currencies that are out there. So I like focusing on the majors, if you will, the blue chips. And we just had a pretty decent little pullback buy on Ethereum, and you'll notice I'm using the same tools: Darvis, Propulsion, Wave, Grab, and that was a nice little pullback we had midweek, and we're getting some decent follow through here on Ethereum. But again, Bitcoin is really what I'm super interested in because we're going to have the ability to go through the CME and the CBOE and day trade these markets. And I mean, finally now we'll be able to get to something that I think hasn't been really that readily available on the crypto exchanges, which is, time frames that are 1 hour and less. I don't touch digital currency on time frames 1 hour or less on any. I have before, and I really don't anymore. I focus on the daily, the 8 hour, the 4 hour, sometimes the 2 and 1, but it's usually 4, 8 and daily, because when in midweek we had the big move in Bitcoin, a lot of folks experienced the Coinbase blue screen of death. And, it's when you can't log into your account. And I think one of the things that the CME and the CBOE are going to bring with the involvement is stability and an alternative in terms of an exchange to trade this market. And that makes me very excited. And of course, it's in our wheelhouse because it will be a futures contract that we'll be trading. So that's where, I think this is a pretty important moment in terms of Bitcoin growing up. I think these futures contracts are going to really reflect, I think the demand that we're seeing for something like this. And, one of the questions I get a lot of, and it's fair, I don't know that anyone knows the answer, but it's fair. And a lot of people ask, well, what happens when different governments or whatnot come down on Bitcoin? Well, that's even more reason to simply trade it and not buy and hold. And I don't subscribe to that. That's not something that I am at the moment particularly concerned about. But for those of you that are, but then realize there are wonderful opportunities to play volatility, I'm not going to say I know the future. I believe Bitcoin and the blue chips are here to stay. Do I think there's a lot of garbage amongst the other 1,300 cryptocurrencies? There's something called Tattoo Coin. I don't even know what it is, but really, I just don't necessarily see that as one of the surviving coins, right? But I think some of these blue chips, just like in the tech boom days, when the dust fell, there were certain .coms that survived. Little names like Amazon and Priceline, right? So I think the same thing's going to happen here. And for those of you that are uncertain of that, then intraday trading, playing during the day and getting out at the end of the day and starting up all over and playing those 60, 30, 15, 5-minute time frames is going to be exactly what's going to allow you to participate in volatility that was $4,000 and $5,000 swings on this market, but do so in a way that limits your risk because you're not holding it overnight. So again, very exciting opportunities coming up. It is going to be very much a futures trading conversation. You got to still know what's happening in the underlying market. I think you still got to understand from a relative performance, from a relative strength standpoint, like we would with any currency, how Bitcoin is performing against other currencies as well as the dollar. But I think these are all very much things that I think over time are going to become second nature to a lot of traders. They're going to have a lot of fun in these futures contracts. So again, very excited about this. Have a great weekend. I'll see you in the next update.